Hello everyone, and welcome back to Inner Dailies. If you ever feel tired, lost, or like you're falling behind in life, please stay with me. This story isn't about becoming the best. It's about becoming a little better, one day at a time. Daniel was 30 years old, not young enough to feel full of hope, and not old enough to feel finished. He lived alone in a small apartment on the 3rd floor of an old building. Every morning, he woke up before his alarm, not because he was excited, but because his mind was already awake, thinking, worrying, comparing. He would lie in bed, staring at the ceiling, counting the small cracks he'd never noticed before. At 30, Daniel believed he should be somewhere else. He should have a better job, a clearer future, a stronger version of himself. But instead, his days felt quiet. Too quiet. He'd brush his teeth slowly, make coffee he didn't really want, and check his phone, even though he knew there would be no new messages. Sometimes he'd whisper to himself, "Is this all?" And the silence never answered. The day moved slowly for Daniel, too slowly. After breakfast, he'd sit at the small table near the window. The coffee was cold. The room was quiet. Outside, people walked with purpose. A bus passed. Life continued, but Daniel stayed still. He would open his laptop, then close it again. No plan, no clear next step. He'd check job websites for the 3rd time that morning. Same results, same silence. He sent one application, then stopped. His hands rested on the keyboard, but his heart felt tired. Around noon, he would lie down on the couch, not to sleep, just to escape the noise in his head. But the thoughts came anyway. You should be further. Others are doing better. You wasted time. Daniel turned his face to the wall. He didn't cry, but his eyes felt heavy. In the afternoon, he stood up and looked at himself in the bathroom mirror. Same face, same tired eyes. He asked softly, "What am I doing with my life?" And there was no answer, only the sound of water from the sink and the slow ticking of time. In the late afternoon, Daniel stood up from the couch. Not because he felt motivated, not because he had a plan. He just felt tired of sitting still. He went to the kitchen and washed his cup. The sound of water was calm for a moment. His mind became quiet. He picked up a book, not to learn something important, not to change his life, but just to stay present. He read one page, then another. After the 3rd page, his eyes stopped rushing. His breathing became softer. Daniel closed the book and looked around the room. Nothing had changed. The same walls, the same table, but something inside him felt slightly different, less tight. He put on his jacket and walked outside. No destination, no goal, just moving. The air was cool. The sky was quiet. Each step felt simple. And for the first time that day, Daniel didn't think about who he should become. He only thought about where he was. And for now, that was enough. Daniel walked into the park. As the sun began to lower, the light was soft and the air was cool. He chose a wooden bench near a quiet path and sat down. The book rested on his lap, closed. He didn't open it. He just sat there, watching leaves fall slowly from the trees. People passed by. A woman walking her dog. A man talking on his phone. A child running ahead of his father. Everyone seemed to be going somewhere, Daniel studied. After a few minutes, someone sat down beside him. An old man, gray hair, a straight back movements. He carried no phone, no bag. Only a quiet presence. The old man looked ahead and nodded at Daniel. They sat in silence, not an awkward silence, a gentle one. Then the old man spoke without turning his head. He looked tired. He sighed softly. Daniel didn't answer right away. He took a breath. "Yes," he finally said. "I am." The old man nodded slowly, as if that answer was enough. He stayed quiet for a while, looking at the trees, at the ground, at the slow movement of the day. Then he spoke again. "People often come to this park when they are lost," he said. Daniel smiled weakly. "I didn't know that." The old man nodded. "They don't know it either." He glanced at the book on Daniel's lap. "You didn't bring that book to become smarter?" He sighed calmly. "You brought it so you wouldn't fall apart. Daniel felt something move inside his chest. He looked down and said nothing. The old man continued. Most people think they must fix everything at once. He paused. That is why they break. The old man said, just don't make your life harder than it already is. He pointed gently at Daniel's hands. You are sitting here. You are breathing. You are not running away. He leaned back against the bench. For today, he said. That is enough. Daniel felt his shoulders drop for the first time in days. He didn't feel like he was failing. He felt like he was allowed to stay. He sat quietly, letting the old man's words settle inside him. After a moment, he spoke again. I keep thinking I should be better by now, Daniel said. The old man turned his head and looked at him for the first time. Better than who? He asked. Daniel hesitated. Better than who I am now. The old man smiled gently. That is not the problem, he said. The problem is you are asking yourself to be the best. Daniel frowned slightly. The best version is a heavy thing, the old man continued. It lives in the future. It demands everything at once. He tapped the bench lightly. But better, he said. Better lives here. He pointed to the ground. Yesterday, you stayed inside. Today, you came to the park. That is better. Daniel looked down at his shoes. So I don't have to fix my life? He asked quietly. The old man shook his head. No, he said. Just don't make it worse. They sat in silence again. Daniel felt something loosened inside him. For the first time, the path forward didn't feel impossible. It felt small, and somehow, that made it feel real. That evening, Daniel walked home slowly. He cooked a simple meal, nothing special. He read 2 pages, just 2. Before sleep, he noticed something. His chest felt lighter. Life was not fixed, but it was not falling either. That night, Daniel lay in bed, same room, same ceiling, but his thoughts were softer. He did not ask, why am I not the best? Instead, he asked, was I a little better today? And the answer was yes. If you're listening to this and feel like Daniel, let us know in the comments. What is one small thing that would make today a little better for you? Thank you for listening. Please subscribe for more stories, and take care.